So welcome to From Salem with Love. My name is Jacob Anaya, and this is...
I'm Anna Campos. I own Circle of Stitches in Salem, Massachusetts. And thanks for joining us for another episode.
Woohoo!
Yay!
So, what are you wearing?
So, today, this is actually one of the first things that we did as a knit-along when I opened the shop back in 2015. So, this is the Adele t-shirt, and it was designed by Amy Christophers. And this was actually knit in a yarn that is discontinued. It was Barocco Mykonos, but it was a linen blend with some other stuff. So this is a really good pattern for summer tops. So if you want to make one, I recommend any sort of good linen blend, or just plain linen. Like Quince & Co. Sparrow would be good, or Shibui Reed would be really good. So yeah, it's just a great little summer top. And obviously it's like 7 years old at this point. So yay!
Yay!
The more important question is, what are you wearing?
So this one is my sweater design that I was working on over the last semester at school. I have no idea when I'm going to write it up because I'm kind of having a little bit of anxiety about the idea of writing up a sweater pattern, but oh well, we'll just move forward.
Okay, but can we take a moment to recognize that this is your first sweater design, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is stunning.
So it's with 3 colors of worsted wheat. I did it with the Arroyo.
No, you did Malabrigo Rios, right?
Rios.
The worsted?
Yes, I did the Malabrigo Rios. I did a whole bunch of different colors that right now I've been drawing blanks all day, so I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have Frank Ochre.
Mm-hmm.
I think the purple, is it Sabiduria? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
And, I can't remember the name of the, peachy color. Okay, so that'll go in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so pretty.
And so the next version that I kind of want to do, I was going to try to play with a little bit of spin cycle in it and see how that would work with the different colors. Just to
that would look awesome.
Fading and 2 different colors of spin cycle with a main color that doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're kind of just getting like this gradated fun color.
I like it.
Yeah. It doesn't have a name yet, so anybody who wants to comment what they think that it could be named down below in the comment section, it would be much appreciated because I'm terrible at naming things.
Honestly, naming stuff is stressful.
It really is.
Awesome. Well, it's beautiful.
And what are you working on right now?
So I am knitting another shift cowl, and this is your fault because you'll remember in our last episode you were wearing your brand new shift, and so I really wanted a new one as well. So that's what I'm working on.
It's so pretty.
And so here's how it's looking. I love it. And so for people who don't know how this guy works up, so it starts up here, and this piece is actually going to go behind my neck, so it's going to be like that.
It's going to be so pretty.
And so the colors that I'm using, my background is Ghost Ranch and the Family Jewels. And my contrast color is Nostalgia. And I really like it. It's got this mermaidy
whole
vibe.
moment right here. I love that.
I know, right?
That right there.
Mm-hmm. I'm super into it. I love it.
That's goals right there.
What are you working on?
Mine is... So I think a couple of weeks back we mentioned the painting honeycomb shawl, but I decided to make Jeremy one. So
Jeremy is a lucky man with all the hand knits.
So I don't know how well you can see it on this, but it is starting to kind of fade into a different color.
Yeah, I can see that because it's darker up here.
Yeah. And so I can
yeah,
I can show you the yarn.
Here, show it on the back. The back shows the gradient really well, actually. There you go. So
it's starting to kind of change into this other color, and what it eventually will do is I did from the middle from this one, but it's going to change into this teal color, and then it's going to change into cream.
Yeah, it's creamish. Yeah, it's got a little tint of something.
It's got a tint of something, but yeah. So I'm using 2 skeins of this. I just call it the Wonderland yarn because that's what's on it, but it's a different dyer that does it. It's so weird. I'll get the name of it and text it to you.
Okay. I'll put it in the show notes because I don't know.
And then...
Of course.
I'm doing the back. The main color is the Frank Ochre.
Right. Malabrigo sock?
Yep.
Yay. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, so here we see 2 different applications of Frank ochre in the sweater and in
And
the shawl.
also, like, the other thing, too, because I think this is technically, like, mosaic knitting, too. So just kind of, like, because it is slip stitches and everything.
Okay, yeah, so it's not stranded, so it's all slip stitches, so it's easier than it looks. That's awesome. Where's my looking at? Nice. So, one of the things that I wanted to share today, because this book just came out, and I'm really excited about it, is Traditions Revisited, Modern Estonian Knitting by Alex Bird. And honestly, if you're not following Alex Bird on Instagram yet, I don't know what you're doing, because her work is amazing. And
I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm following her, because I don't know if I am.
You should be.
Okay, well, we're going to go and
Alex Bird.
do that right now.
So her work is stunning, and she uses a lot of traditional, obviously, Estonian knitting techniques to create garments that are more contemporary. And this is her very first book. She's publishing it in partnership with Len magazine, or Line, or I know that we had an episode about which one was the right way to pronounce it.
And then someone commented below.
Right. Line, I think, was the right one. But regardless, here is this stunning book. This is actually my first time getting to look at it, which I'm really excited about. But you should pick up your copy at the shop. But like, look at these beautiful techniques.
So what is on the back of that? Sorry, you just held it up. What is that?
Right, that type of thing.
Because I've seen it and it.
So
a little bit, and I was wondering what it was, because sometimes, again, I don't know everything. So
yeah, so that's one of the Estonian techniques. Okay, look at that. So those are gorgeous. If you can find that one. Ooh. Yeah, so she has basically separated the book with designs according to the traditional techniques, which you can see right here. So what you're looking at those things that you're pointing at is the rusamine. It's like these little, designs that are made with strands going across the front of the work. And then you have the fringe, knitted braids, vickle, and baubles. So look at that.
I have a feeling that book might be coming home with me.
This is a really good book. Yeah, so rusamine, which is what you had asked, it's an inlay technique that creates beautiful embroidery-like patterns. Might seem daunting, but is actually quite easy.
All these patterns. Like, I'm kind of looking over the shoulder right now, and like...
So, look at that.
You gotta check them out, because they're all really, really pretty, and there are a lot of things that I personally have never seen. So the rusamine is a technique for embellishing, and there's clear instructions here on how to do it. Right? So here is So here is one of the sweater designs. And the rusamine were mostly used to decorate like stockings and gloves. And what Alex has done is taken these sort of details and expanded them into garments. Which is really stunning. The directions are... So this is the one that I was really obsessed with. This sweater's called Veski. Show it.
So look at that. It's using that rusamine technique. So you can see here it's on the chest and on the sleeves. Isn't it pretty?
It's so pretty.
Yeah, look, there it is. There's a good photo of it. And that's something that to me is really interesting, right? Sort of taking your cultural roots and finding ways to reinterpret and give it new life. So, yeah, so here's those same kind of details on the sleeves. Ooh, how pretty. Look at that. So, okay, and then we're going to get into the fringe, right? And this is a knitted fringe, which is making yarn loops to create in a contrasting color to add this little detail, which you can see here on this cover page. And so traditionally this was a detail found on cuffs of gloves and mittens, but Alex has used them in different contexts as well. But here's a mitten that's heavily embellished, so it's got the rusamine and it has that knitted fringe detail on it as well. Look how pretty. Right, and these are flip top mittens. Who doesn't love that? Oh, so pretty. Alright, so here's some fingerless mitts using that same detail. And there we go. That's what I wanted to see, a little bit of drama. So here's that detail now used in a shawl. Isn't this book awesome? It's a better picture. Alright, so now we're in the fringe section of the book, obviously. And now we're getting into the knitted braids. So she is looking at two types of braids, the twisted braid and kinuvits. And I am probably butchering the pronunciation, but I'll do my best. So check that out.
So good.
Alright. So here we go, some traditional socks. With a bit of a modern update. So great. Yeah. Oh, and you can see the sweater and a shawl. So honestly, I just find Alex's work amazing. And I hope that folks will want to get this book and support her work because she's really doing something special. And before I just spend the whole time showing, okay, but seriously, how can I not show you all this? Traditional men's sweater from the island of Kinu. So this is a type, so Troy. Troy is a type of traditional men's sweater with all over color work, with embellishment, and it has knitted braids. And so this is an updated version of that, which is really stunning. I could totally see you wearing that.
Oh, I would definitely wear that.
Oh yeah, and this is the one that has that beautiful saddle shoulder detail. That's on the cover.
Especially with little pockets. I do pockets.
Oh yeah, it has pockets.
I say that, but then I would all of a sudden, I'd be texting you at midnight. Pockets! But I'd love them when they were done.
Uh-huh. So worth it. Alright, try and get through this. So I don't just spend the whole time doing this. Yeah, so she's using all sorts of different traditional patterns, like stitch patterns, and putting them in new contexts. And anyway, I guess long story short, you need to get a copy of this book because it's really stunning. Oh, here we go. We got to the last chapter, baubles, which I love me a good bauble. So here we see cowl and sweater with some bubble deliciousness. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Take a picture of that one. This is my, like I said, this is my first time looking through the book, so I didn't like earmark anything ahead of time. So anyway, it's a really stunning book. The patterns are awesome. I love that the cover even has a detail here that's I'm forgetting what this is called when it's like imprinted.
Embossed?
Embossed. Yes, it's embossed with a pattern to look like the Rosamund, so it's super cute. And it's hardcover. Absolutely stunning. The patterns are awesome. So anyway, get a copy of this. So now that I've done all that talking, what pattern did you want to share with us today?
So the first pattern that I picked out, so Anna has been the receiver of multiple texts from me over the years of, I need to find a damn short sleeve sweater top that isn't going to be crazy and look like I'm wearing something that it just doesn't fit on my body type. So for like 3 years, I've always been browsing Ravelry, like going, oh, short sleeve top, and they always have this neckline that I don't think I could pull off, but I finally found one that I'm obsessed with. So it is the Aliso Creek top, and it is by Irina and Anakiva, and we will put in a picture right here. And so I love this. On the yoke part of it, it's got this beautiful kind of twisted knit stitches and lace pattern motif on there, and I was kind of obsessed with it from the moment that I saw it. She is also worth checking out, like all of her patterns kind of on Ravelry, because I kind of snooped everything and I was just like, okay, I think I might have found someone that I might be obsessed with their designs.
That's
so
awesome.
She's got a bunch of ones, like a whole series of summer tops that you can look at. And before I go rambling on and on and on about all of them, I'm going to start showing the yarn colors that I picked out.
So what weight of yarn does it use?
It uses a sport weight yarn. So I picked out a couple of the sport weight yarns that are here at the store to show you that I think would be really, really pretty with this. I know that for me, normally I pick like only if I'm doing something that's like really detailed, like stitch work, I'll pick something that's kind of just like a non-tonal, regular, straight color throughout. But this time I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm just liking these colors, so I'm going to show them off.
But you know what? In the last episode, we had a whole discussion about how as long as it's low contrast, you can still use hand dyes and tonals for, stitch patterns. So
yeah. So the first one that I chose was Indecida.
Ooh, I do love that one. So that's Malabrigo Arroyo.
And I choose. Okay. So it's in. I don't know. I'm like it says DK, so I was like, oh no, Joe didn't wrong.
No, so Arroyo is one of those yarns that's been a little strange where they've called it Sport before. Now I guess they've retagged it as DK. But Sport and DK is one of the weights where they're a little inconsistent. Like some companies make a DK that runs thin, some make a Sport that runs thick. So I just say, look at the gauge, But yeah, this is definitely fine.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't myself.
Oh. You're perfect. I love you.
So this color is all pretty.
It is pretty.
But yeah, so
that's one of the colors that I used in the sock weight on my When Rain Falls shawl design. So I definitely love that one.
I thought it was so pretty.
It
go with it. And
that's a good example of a low contrast variated.
Let's go to a high contrast one. So I did Arroyo Archangel. That I also thought could be kind of pretty with it.
It matches your sweater.
It does match my sweater. I might have a color palette that I like.
Yeah, so it's basically the colors of your sweater, but in one skein instead of 3 different skeins. I love it. Wait, why are you making that face? I love it.
And then my last one, because you know what, I'm in no mindset to not love bright colors. I love bright colors, and I think you should play with them more often. But this one is another Arroyo, and
Cyan.
Thank you. That was about to be Cane, so you all know.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if this one's rendering great on camera because it looks very, very blue, but it's actually got more green undertones. It's a really bright turquoise. So it's definitely a good, look at me piece. Yay!
Because, I'm never the person that likes to look at me piece. Ever.
You want people to look, just not talk to you.
Is that hard to understand?
No, I get it now. You know what? Let's make you a t-shirt for Rhinebeck that says, you can look, but don't talk to me.
Yeah. Approach with caution.
I mean, I need that t-shirt too.
Right.
Oh, we need to make those before tourist season in Salem.
Yeah, approach with caution.
I'm on it.
We're on it. We're going to
awesome.
Order them all.
Pretty.
And what other pattern do you have that you want to talk about?
So, we always love Malabrigo, but we just got a big shipment in, which is why there's so many fun colors right now. And one of the patterns that I found recently is called the Coloring Book Raglan. It's by Amy Scher, and it's a super basic top-down raglan, but it's a little bit updated as far as the details. Like the sleeve, is a little wider and intended to be like 3/4 or 2/3. And it's a pattern that has at least 14 possible permutations depending on how you knit it. You can just knit it as a plain raglan. There's these beautiful stripe details that you can add. You can customize, the body length, sleeve length. But I always love a good striped piece. And it's, plain on top with stripes on the bottom. And I guess we should put in a photo. So you can see it's super, super cute. And so I went and filled my Well, I'll bring a basket here with some ideas. Are you laughing at me? How dare you? So of course I had to pick something that was, pretty neutral. So this color is ivory, and I think it would just be really, really stunning to pair with something bright. This is sunset, right? And really using a neutral base like ivory, which by the way is not ecru. This does have a little bit of dye to it. It's not going to be just plain undyed yarn, but you can really pair this with some really good brights. So sunset. Fuchsia is always a favorite. Like, how stunning would that be? Matisse blue, right, to give it some really good pop of color. Like, this color is really intense. So I think that would be really fun. I also picked a gray base. This is Pearl, which is a really nice light gray, right? And you could pair this with something like this, which is Aguas, which is really nice, like blue-green water tones. And unsurprisingly, I also picked a skein of Indicida, so you could do something a little lower contrast, but still beautiful. This is another neutral that I love. This is Sandbank, so it's not gray. This is more of a taupey undertone. And of course, Frank Ochre. Sandbank and Frank Ochre is actually one of my favorite combinations. Right? And there's some other good possibilities too, like Ravelry Red for good contrast. And honestly, I mean, this would work with any of the other ones that I had shown as well. Sunset, Fuchsia, the Matisse Blue. And then just to do something a little different, rather than going for a neutral background color, you could do Aquamarine. And this would pair really, really nicely with the Matisse Blue. Or this is a color called Azules for something a little less intense, but that would still look really pretty striped together. So it's just one of those patterns that I think is super wearable and really cute. And now I kind of want to make us knit some striped sweaters together. I know you have a bunch on the needles, but
I
make a
have
sweater with me.
A literal problem. Like, I literally, like...
Also, this is how happy this is.
So I currently... How many do I have on my needles right now? Including shawls and products. I'm at, I think, 8. That on my needles of things that I'm doing. I have socks, 2 pairs of socks that are up to the cuff that I haven't actually knit the cuff on on both of them.
Okay, but how many of you actively work? Because I have projects that are on needles that are like stuffed in my closet that I'm not technically knitting, but they're not.
Literally all of them.
Fair enough.
I have Cedar by Ash that I will probably be working on for another year. Just because I kind of pick it up as my challenge project, so I do that one all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But just like when I really want like a challenge, but I have probably 4 more rows of the lace and I'm done. So then it'll just be river stockinette. I don't know why I haven't finished it, but whatever. I have honeycombs. I have Mullen Honey. I'm doing a lot better. And then I have the chestnut that I signed up for.
Okay, so it's only 6, not 8.
Only 6. So I can easily... Oh, and I have to do my aunt's shawl. There's 7, and then if we do one, it'll be 8.
Okay, but we haven't done it yet, so technically it's not 8 yet.
It will be. I know, Anna. Okay, so I have another pattern to talk about too.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, again, I have texted you 40 million times about how I want a summer sweater.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So this one is called the Glennon Sleeveless. It's by Kate Davies. It is actually in a worsted weight, so maybe not quite so much summer. It might be a little warm for summer, but it's a good layering piece. And we're going to put a picture here. Because if I start talking about it and no one knows what it looks like, people are just going to think I'm crazy. Probably already do. Anywho, so this one has lovely cables on it. It also has a hood that also incorporates cables in it. The edging of that hood is in an I-cord. I'm interested to maybe start this one because I have never done like an in the round bottom up sweater yet. So I think that this one would be fun to kind of try it out. I want to read the pattern before I say that maybe I could extend the sleeves a little bit, because I don't want to go all of a sudden and put forth that you could extend the sleeves and have it not look right. So,
well, here's a question, because this does say sleeveless, so I wonder if there's a Glennon version that's not sleeveless.
and then I could buy both of them and then continue the sleeves down.
But why buy the sleeveless one if you want to add sleeves?
I don't know. Seemed like it made sense in the moment.
Okay, so I guess we'll find out if there's a sleeved version, and I'll add both in the show notes.
Probably should have looked that up.
I love you.
Oh well.
My
All right, so we're
favorite.
gonna go over colors.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm loving the lettuce.
Oh, I do love lettuce.
And I love brightness. And
I love lettuce the
colorful.
color a lot more than I love lettuce the food.
That's because it's tasteless, unless you
It's
put.
just crunchy water. It's weird.
It really is. It has no nutritional value at all.
Honestly, my favorite thing about lettuce is having a wedge salad, right? Which is just like chunks of
When they
lettuce
chunk it in
topped
half.
topped with bacon, though. So it's just a vehicle for bacon.
And then smothered in some type of
It's blue
dressing.
cheese dressing.
Yeah, see.
Delicious.
And then I think when I was picking out these colors that I went to a brain path of the same color family, so you're all going to get different variations of a similar color.
Okay. I really like that color.
So this one is Camel. It's in Malabrigo Rios. I've been eyeing this color a lot. I haven't found something to knit it in yet, and this...
Yeah, that's a newer color, and
Might
I'm
be it.
actually feeling a little obsessed with it too. So
Yeah. Then it's
We need to
it's
come up
strange
with
because I normally don't do a neutral-ish color when I knit. I'm normally, if it's not in your face, I'm not knitting it. But
but let's get in there because look at the tonal variations. It's really pretty. So we need to find something to do with that
me
color.
too. Or it could be my base color for when I try to do this one again.
Oh yeah.
And then I could do two different
Spin cycles.
spin cycles with it.
Yum.
Yeah. Everyone would love it. Alright. And then I did La Bien Ami in a caramel. I found the color first time. And it's just so pretty. And this, I love her yarn. It's so soft.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I'll let
I
folks
love
know,
the
by the
base.
way, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be opening up pre-orders for La Bien Aimée, and it's going to be different because this time I'm going to let you pre-order whatever color you want, rather than just getting in the stock, and thank you so much, rather
It's
than
just what's going to happen anyway, so might as
yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm. So rather than you having to pick from the colors that I've picked, you can pick whatever you like. Oh yeah, I'm keeping this. This is mine now. Now see, now you can't see it. And that's what the long hair is for.
Yeah.
Theft.
Theft.
Perfect.
Alter
So-
ego. Personality. She had the cape.
Yeah, my hair is my cape.
It's the other cape.
I mean, I do have my witch's robes, technically.
See? Cape.
There you go. Yay. See, I love it when we pick colors because we don't actually look in advance at what the other person's picked. So, obviously, we have very similar tastes. Sunset. Yay.
I mean, I don't know.
It's such a good color.
But yeah.
That
so-
color was my first love before Frank Ochre was a color. I'm sorry, Sunset, that you've been demoted a little bit, but
How dare you cheat on Sunset?
no, it's just one big happy young family.
Alright.
So,
What?
yeah. So, yeah, I think that the Glennon is awesome. And I have one last announcement. I think I hinted a little bit last time. No, I think I flat out said last time that we are doing a summer knit along using some Anzula yarn. So I'm going to give you folks a little more detail. We were going to be doing a summer knit along with the Nessoy Tea by Miriam Felton. We're going to cast on, probably knit in Public Day. I'll have more details soon. But the Nessoy Tea was something that was designed specifically for Anzula Breeze, which is a really beautiful silk and linen blend. So it's perfect
She already has all my money.
It's just right here. I'll just read your card. So it's a really, really beautiful, perfect summer yarn. I don't think you've ever seen Breeze before, right?
If you max it out, just go on to the next card.
I'm just see how many cards. How many cards do I have to go through here?
Don't be looking.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Circle of Stitches is now apparently out of stock. I just bought everything. Tune in next month. She'll have more yarn, hopefully.
Yeah, so how pretty is that?
It is very pretty.
So this color is called Shiitake, and if you kind of see, it's got that texture, right? Because it's got a bit of linen and silk. It's actually really, really soft. And so the skeins are super generous. They have 750 yards per. Right, and so the Nestle tee is just a really great little summer top with a boat neck and some shaping. As part of the knit along, I'm going to help everyone figure out your sizing and if you want to make modifications so that you can have a really great top. And the other piece of exciting news that I think I leaked last time too is that we actually have a custom colorway coming for it. And now I have more details. Of course, it's a tonal purple because purple, right, is one of my favorites. It's either purple or mustard are my two favorites. And so they created this exclusive purple for us. We worked back and forth to make sure we got the tones right. And they have named the color Coven for us.
Oh.
Which is really exciting. So I will drop some details in the show notes. Hopefully by the time that we're releasing this video, we already have the yarn in. But regardless, you'll be able to pre-order so that everyone can have their skeins in time to cast on together. So I hope that you're going to join me because, again, I love knitting me a summer top. So, yeah. Yay. So pretty. And I'm just going to get this in close because this is shiitake. Like I mentioned, it's got little bits of purple. And this is actually from my personal stash because the Enzula order has not arrived yet. So this is something that I bought from them directly and it's been sitting in my stash waiting for the perfect thing. Because there's actually a really beautiful shawl that you can make with this yarn. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head, so show notes it is. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness for show notes.
I know.
So, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yay.
So that's what we wanted to share for today. We're super excited to be back more regularly. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely not stealing this wallet. Mm-hmm. So thanks for watching, and leave us comments below. Let us know what you're working on. I hope you're going to join me for the summer knit along, and like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye bye.
And we are. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's start over.
Cut. Sorry.